Welcome to your all-active Reserve and Veterans TV series. This information education show has three goals: tell who military veterans are, share about all organizations, auxiliaries, their programs and officers at all levels, and tell about memorials in all the cities we serve in this network. The VA system, state and county officers, hospitals and state homes are also featured. Please do check out our websites. Share your program ideas and concerns via the contact information on the show. We open each month's show with a patriotic theme. Welcome once again to another program of Vets Visits on TV. This is program number 141 for January of '09 as we begin another year. This is my co-host.
I'm Brad Lindsay, Olmsted County Veteran Services.
And I'm Jerry Barnhart, founder-producer of the program. And as we said before, so happy that you joined us, and call up your friends and tell them the show's on as well. Now, let's see. We want to remind you that our patriotic opening was from the Arlington National Cemetery, the Marine Band and soloist, and I happened to be there doing some taping for Korean Vets Tour many years ago. And so I had this on hand, and it's there at the, of course, it was during Veterans Day. Well, let's get to some dates in history. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year to you, Jerry.
Okay, we haven't got any bells. Well. No bells or whistles or hats or anything else, but you get the spirit, right? Okay. January 1st was New Year's Day, and the 1st of January also in 1951 was a big Chinese push toward the UN forces south, pushing them south of the 38th parallel in the Korean War. Our roadshow, Special Service Roadshow, was there during part of that push.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of action. And let's see, the first also in 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. On the 3rd, Martin Luther King Day, and of course that will be a national holiday. The 20th is Inauguration Day, and they kind of go together. We've got a new freedom and respect for what the black community can do in our nation, and have done, of course. The 22nd was the Anzio invasion in World War II, and the 30th in 1968 began the Vietnam War in the Battle of Jiu. And 2 years, we might say, after the Emancipation Proclamation was written, now we're talking about 1865, the 13th Amendment was approved to abolish slavery. So those are the dates in history. And now let's look at our first feature for today. I was invited back in October to the 16th Annual Veterans Deer Hunt at a military training camp, Camp Ripley, north of Little Falls. You'll see some landmarks at the entry, hear a welcome from the camp commander, interviews of the event's history and sponsors, and I'll be out in the field with our host, Dennis Erie from the St. Cloud VA Hospital. And we'll meet some hunters with their deer, of course. In the fall, the deer are a driving hazard all over Minnesota, hopefully not in your state. At 6:30 a.m., just as my wife and I were entering the camp, I was the very first one to get, quote unquote, a deer, and you'll see the results. Pretty pathetic. Well, stay tuned and let's go hunting.
Welcome to Camp Ripley. Welcome back to a lot of faces I've seen for a number of years now since I've been here, and I know there's a lot of them in here. Saw the past commander and the past commander after that. So welcome back to those and those new. This is, again, for the second year now, the combined deployed soldier hunt and disabled American Veterans Hunt. It is the third annual deployed soldier hunt, but this is the second time we've combined the two events. We also have the 17th annual disabled vets hunt. So got a little catching up to do with the deployed soldier hunt. This year also we have 56 participants in the deployed soldier hunt and 53 in the disabled vets hunt. So I'm sure there's going to be some wagers going on here on number of take in the next 2 days. I will give you I don't know if this will help the odds or not, but last year the disabled vets harvested 18 and the soldiers was only 10. So we got to get going on there. Must be experience. Well, again, welcome. It is really great to have all of you up here. Again, we really look forward this time of the year. I'm really glad we can give you a chance here at Camp Ripley for this hunt. I think it's important. It's sure a lot of fun for us. It's not a problem for us to get volunteers, even from my staff or volunteers to be mentors. We have not had a problem because it really is a fulfilling experience, and we really are glad to provide that, the resource we have here on Camp Ripley to all you hunters out there. I guess with that said, all I want to say is good luck and be safe.
Well, as Carl said, this is our 16th year doing this program, and the programs, the hours, the days, the years do click by quickly. So I can't believe it. I'm looking at maybe 3 more of these myself, and I might be able to retire. So. I'd like to recognize a couple people that were not at the T building when we had our briefing. And first of all, I'd like to recognize Tom Holthouse. Tom, if you stand up. Tom's the medical center director that got this thing going 16 years ago. To talk to you every time you go through the gate. The other individuals I'd like to acknowledge some of our sponsors at various departments of Minnesota. The first one would be the American Legion. We have Randy Testall. If Randy would stand up. And Randy, thank you for coming. The DAV has been huge, and tonight we have Dan Hill, past state DAV commander. Dan is his first time up here. Dan? Next to him is Jim Sursley. Jim was a past national DAV commander, originally from Rochester, Minnesota, now resides in Florida, and was up here last year for the turkey hunt, very successful, and we coached him into coming back for the deer hunt. So if there's any problems with the hunting, you want to talk to the guy next to you, Dan. But thank you for coming up again, Jim. Past state commander, Louis, are you here? Stand up, Louis. Thank you. And with the PVA, we have John Christensen, board member. John, where are you? Sponsors include Veterans for Veterans Foundation. I noticed that Dean's not here, but they made a donation of over $1,700 to help with this program, which is huge. Minnesota Elks. Tom is representing the Minnesota Elks. Tom, you stand up, please. They've been on board with us the last couple of years, and that's huge. Morrison County MDHA chapter. Mike, are you here? Mike has been an active sponsor. That chapter has been an active sponsor of this program. Minnesota Patriot Guards. Jim Parent.
Here are some veterans being loaded into the van for the deer hunt this morning on their way out in just a few minutes.
Raymond Olaf Hertel.
Good morning, gentlemen, and good congratulations on your acquiring the first deer of the season of the hunt. And your name, sir, is
Raymond Olaf Hertel.
Hertel. From
I
where?
go by Shorty.
From where?
From Cokato, Minnesota.
Okay. And is this your first or third?
No,
or
this
15th?
is my sixth hunt.
Sixth hunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've gotten 4 deer in 6 years.
Well, that's wonderful. I got my first deer this morning on the way into the camp.
Oh no.
He hit the side of my car. We figure about $5,000 damage. But anyway, and let's get the volunteer. You, sir, are?
My name is Richard Nordling, and I'm from Delano, Minnesota.
From Delano. Okay, and are you with any particular veterans organization as well?
Nope, just Deer Hunters Association.
Okay, and you volunteer for how many years now?
This is the 3rd year of the deer hunt,
Okay,
and I've done, I think, like 6 or 7 turkey hunts.
okay. Maybe we'll get vets visits in for a turkey hunt one of these spring days. I've been invited down for it. How many points on this deer now? Let's concentrate on this beastie.
This is a small 8-point.
So that means he's about how old do you think?
Oh, year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 years.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. And I see the beast is already gutted. And what will be the next step for it?
Well, take it in, get it registered, and then take it out and get it processed.
And where will that be processed?
Schroeder's meat market,
Okay.
right outside of Post.
Okay. Now, I understand that the first 2 deer that were shot are to have free processing. Something like that.
That sounds great.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
That's a rumor that's going around. Okay. Thank you so much for your time and being on Vets Visits.
Yep. What do you got there, Bob, for fish?
Okay. The official reading looks like 88 on the scale. Yeah. Okay. This is the deer that we shot just a few moments ago, or that we had a picture of. And now here's the young lady who did actually obtain this animal. And your name is?
Good morning. My name is Mary Sieben. I go by the nickname Ginny.
How did the Ginny get in there? Is Virginia?
From Virginia.
Okay.
So I get both names.
Okay. Ginny, where are you from?
I'm from Hastings, Minnesota.
From Hastings, okay, down kind of eastish of the cities.
Down in the Mississippi, the other end of it.
Do you have a hunting background?
No, this is the first time I ever hunted, and this is the first deer I ever.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what
well,
they?
actually, when we used to do hunting, it was on my uncle's farm in Wisconsin, but the rules were that the men went out and hunted, and we women stayed home and cooked.
And cooked.
Yeah. So this time I decided that I was going to do the hunt.
Now you're a veteran.
Yes, sir.
From what era? What war?
Well, Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom.
Okay, and you were overseas.
Yes, sir.
And what was your rank and serial number? No, you don't have to give us a serial number.
Well, I was a colonel.
Okay, in what kind of unit?
The unit that I was in was, we were assigned to the Army working in Reconstruction,
Okay.
working with civil affairs,
Yes.
and the local Iraqi governors, mayors,
Uh-huh.
and trying to
Yeah.
rebuild Iraq.
Public relations, kind of. No.
No, it's more working with a lot of the civilian contractors that
Okay.
were over there and trying to help them interface better with the military,
Yes.
so that they could help facilitate the military's job. There was a bit of a disconnect there.
Sure. So you're kind of go-between liaisons in a way. Okay, now you've got a helper here.
I sure do. A guardian angel.
A guardian angel. He was your guide out there. What was the stand like, sir? Would you want to describe it for us?
was an aerial chalet. An aerial chalet was a closed blind that was on a hydraulic lift, and got in at ground level, pushed a lever, and up it went to treetop.
The whole 9 yards. It moved the whole thing up.
And then the windows.
I wish we could have gotten a shot of that.
It's the most beautiful deer stand I've ever seen in my life.
Is that?
I think you still can get a shot of it.
Oh.
In fact, it said on the side that it was donated by the Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Oh, really?
And so for people that have some mobility issues, it would be wonderful. And it was a wonderful opportunity. I felt spoiled rotten.
Oh, well, did they serve you breakfast up there too?
And Starbucks.
Starbucks to boot.
It had an espresso machine in it.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time and sharing with us.
Okay. And I'd like to thank you and everyone who made this possible. This is just an extraordinary opportunity, and all of the volunteers helps. It's more than anyone could ever ask for. It's just incredible, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
It's our pleasure, and I'm speaking for a lot of other DAV members, American Legion and VFW too. And we'll see you tonight at the banquet, right?
Yes.
Okay, one last shot at this one.
The Department of Defense has announced that it is expanding the Purple Heart eligibility criteria, allowing prisoners of war who died in captivity to receive the award. The revised department policy presumes for service members who die in captivity as a qualifying prisoner of war that their death was the result of enemy action or the result of wounds incurred in action with the enemy during capture, or as a result of wounds incurred as a result of enemy action during capture, unless compelling evidence is presented to the contrary. The revised policy allows retroactive award of the Purple Heart to qualifying prisoners of war since December 7th of 1941. Posthumous award will be made to the deceased service member's representative as designated by the Secretary of the Military Department concerned upon application to that military department. Each department will publish application procedures and ensure they are accessible by the general public. Family members with questions may contact the individual service branch at the number that will be displayed on your screen now.
Brad, I've got a question about that.
Sure.
To get an application, will they, by calling this number, then they will send one to you? You don't have to go to the Veteran Service Office or anything of that nature?
Correct. Right now, they still, as of yet, have not made those applications available to us, but you can talk to them at that number, and they will tell you what documentation is required. So.
Good, good.
We've met many national officers of the women's auxiliaries over the years. Dee Dee Buckley of Minnesota American Legion Department has been at National Auxiliary Executive Officers, and Jerry has interviewed her also as Minnesota's Grand Due of the 40 and 8th DOMs. She does the introduction next of the National American Legion Auxiliaries president. This was taped some time ago, but the programs shared are still valid today.
I'm Dee Dee Buckley. I'm the National Executive Committee woman for the Department of Minnesota. And we are very pleased at this convention to have with us our national president of the American Legion Auxiliary, Jan Pulvermaker Ryan, from the Great Badger State of Wisconsin.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's
We
my
were
pleasure.
having a little preview chat, and you mentioned you're from Madison, is it?
That's correct.
So all of our viewers over there should be well aware of who you are and what you do.
I certainly hope so. We
And for
tried to get it out.
And for everyone else, how did you reach national status?
Well, as a member of the organization through my husband's Korean War service, I've been a member for many, many years and had an opportunity a few years ago to serve as a national chairman of a fundraising campaign for a then National President Barbara Koenig at Stevens Point, and because of that came to the attention of the national organization, received some wonderful national chairmanships, which then culminated in my becoming the national president. So, 9 years of service at that particular level.
And finally you made to the top rung.
Finally made it to the top dog, exactly.
No, we won't say dog.
Okay.
you know, kitty cat maybe.
Probably. That would be a better term.
Now, what have you been doing this past year that has made the news? I mean, it should make our news anyway.
Well, other than traveling all over the country and to the Far East and to Europe as well, I think the biggest piece of news that we've had this year is the wonderful contributions that our members have made to our endowment fund, which is a scholarship fund for the children of warriors, but also a scholarship fund for the children of our veterans. My goal was to raise $1.2 million, and so far, to date, we've raised $750,000, which I think is just outstanding.
Fantastic, yes. And now tell us more. What are the stipulations for
they just
receiving
need to be
the
a veteran's child, and then there's a requirement that they submit an essay and an application, of course, the typical sorts of routine information that we need for scholarships to be submitted and awarded, and we will then be able to give more scholarships and larger amounts rather than the $1,800 we've done in the past. We'll be giving $3,600. While it's not a huge amount of money, it's certainly a significant amount to help them on the way to a college
and it's
education.
stipulated for use in college or trade schools or
either one. It doesn't matter. It could be either one.
advanced education.
Correct. Exactly.
And the need is that they must be a veteran's child or
correct. A veteran's child, a grandchild, great-grandchild. There's a variety of opportunities for them to become involved.
So one of my grandchildren could apply for it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, to make a contact for this fund,
they could contact their local unit, and if they don't have a unit in the area and they'd like information, they certainly can contact the Department of Minnesota at their national or their state headquarters here. Where is your state headquarters?
Right in front of the Minnesota State Capitol.
Oh, okay, right in front of the Minnesota State Capitol. So they can also
across the mall.
Across the mall.
They could also contact the national organization on the website as well. So.
That would be that website
is www.legion-aux.org. And that has information on it. They can just hit an icon on it and it'll give them the information about the scholarship program.
Now your year is up.
My year is up the end of August, so by Labor Day I'm out of a job. I'll be going home to my family.
And they've missed you, I'm sure.
Well, they certainly have. I've missed almost everything this year. In fact, I guess I've missed everything this year, including my first granddaughter's high school graduation. So that was a little bit disappointing because it's a milestone. I can't repeat that. Birthdays are something you can go back to, but that's one thing I can't. So.
Now looking on to the next national president, where will she be installed?
Desi Stoy is out of Ohio. She will be serving with the incoming national commander, Dave Rabine, from Iowa. So all good Midwest people coming up again through the line. So we're very pleased because last year's president was also from the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest, and so is Desi. So we feel very fortunate here in this particular area of the country to have 3 national presidents serving.
We're in several cities in Ohio, including Cincinnati and Lyman.
Oh, are you? Okay, very wonderful. Yeah, she's a good gal too. She's been a national chairman for many years as well. Certainly knows the programs and will be a wonderful leader for our organization as well. Very wonderful personality, a neat sense of humor, so she'll be great.
Maybe we'll have a chance to talk to her next year as well.
I would hope so.
Well, we thank you so much for your time, ladies, and sharing with all of our viewers across the states.
Thank you for having us. It's been our delight to be with you. Thank you.
A major donation project for many auxiliaries, national and local, is the National Creative Arts Festival. All vets registered in the VA system are eligible to audition with their VA hospitals. A program director brought several national winners to a Legion Department convention at which I was present, and we'll hear from one of these very talented gentlemen introduced by the Creative Arts Director in Minneapolis.
Our next performer is Roy Ripley. He was in the Navy from 1956 to 1958 as an aviation machinist, mate 3rd class. He lives in Fort Ripley, Minnesota. Roy has won a gold medal and 2 bronze medals in the past few years as a participant in the National Veterans Creative Arts Festival. He won a gold medal in the music division, playing a harmonica solo in the instrumental solo religious category. He states that participating in the arts gives him courage to try other things. When he was about 8 years old, his brother-in-law gave him a harmonica. He's been playing ever since, making beautiful music from such a small instrument. Roy enjoys sharing his passion for music with others and performs at both the St. Cloud and Minneapolis VA medical centers. He also plays at various nursing homes in his community.
Well, I guess that's about it for this time, Brad.
That'll wrap her up.
We're so glad that you could join us. Again, share the good news that we're still on the air. We've added another state to our network, so we are at 19 states at this time, with the addition of Litchfield Park in Arizona. So if you know of other states, other communities that would like to have this program for the information and education and enlightenment of veterans and their families, give me a call at the number which is listed at our closing credits. Thank you. We'll see you again next month for Vets Visits on TV. Thank you for joining us for this month's show. Seen in over 350 communities for over 3,500 half-hour periods. Our websites have additional information about the show and are updated bi-monthly. To contact us, you are welcome to use one of these electronic methods. For all ground mail with questions, suggestions for future programs, you may use this address. Our IRS nonprofit status is 501c3, Information Education. The Minnesota Commissioner of VA and these state-level organizations believe in and endorse Vets Visits. Join us next time, won't you, for Vets Visits on TV.